Hey there, welcome in. It's Heather with Heather's Healing. Thank you so much for joining me here today. So what I wanted to do is go ahead and take a look at October 2025. Um, and anytime I ask to look at the energy, I always ask Spirit to give me a message or give me some guidance towards what it is that they want to bring through, what messages they want to bring through, what they feel would be helpful for us to hear, because this is a collective message. And I was tapping into what is October's shadow, and what was coming up is how do you deal with loss? And I thought that that was really interesting because so many people are dealing with loss. And when I say loss, I don't necessarily mean, death. It could be that. But a loss of anything, a loss of a home, loss of a career, loss of a lifestyle. I mean, who knows? It could be a zillion different things, but that's what was coming up for this month. So I want to take a look at that and just guidance around loss and anything else that Spirit wants to say about dealing with loss. And then I pulled some cards a few days ago, just looking ahead at October, energies that we can expect, kind of just, I don't know, a heads up. I appreciate a heads up. And the other thing that I have noticed, and you have probably noticed too, the more you work with Spirit, you'll notice that they start to prepare you, Source starts to prepare you, months ahead of any kind of major event, challenge, whatever, and even minor events. We are always being prepared and given the tools that we need. So that's kind of what this is, too. It's just a heads up, giving you guidance, asking you to plan ahead, take a look at yourself. That's kind of the whole point of these videos. So with that, October shadow. So collectively, what is going to be coming up is going to be focused around loss and how you deal with loss. So take a look at how you have dealt with loss in the past. Is it something that I mean, of course, it's going to, any kind of loss or anything that is disappointing, it's going to throw us off a little bit or a lot of it. But do you tend to spiral out when that happens, or do you tend to deal with things head on? Are you able to accept the reality of the situation, or do you tend to check out? And, there's nothing wrong with checking out, but I also feel like that is a way that a lot of us can end up getting stuck, especially if you struggle with addiction. And I know I bring that up a lot, but Spirit brings that up a lot as well. Addiction and the energy of addiction really does, keep us stuck. So I want to go ahead and just pull some cards looking at how we deal with loss. What do we need to know about October's shadow of loss? So let's go ahead and pull some cards. I'm going to use because it is October, the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. So 3 cards looking at the energy of loss and what do we need to know about loss. October shadow, how do we deal with loss? And thanks so much for being here, you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. All right, so loss for the collective, what do we need to know? So I will show you the cards here in just a minute. So we have the 9 of Swords, we've got the Queen of Swords, and the 7 of Pentacles. A preoccupation with loss. There's definitely an energy here of worrying about, and I totally understand this, with how crazy things are and how, I don't know, there's just a lot of shitty things that happen. But there's a preoccupation and worry about preoccupation. That might not be the right word. but we're too focused on loss or what might happen next. Preparing, it's almost like we're preparing for the worst, and in doing so, um, we're not able to stay focused on the present, but we're also not able to uh, focus on our goals and our dreams and the things that we are wanting to bring in. So we've got the Nine of Swords coming in, which is a card that talks about worry, anxiety, expecting the worst. And oftentimes with this card, these are things that never actually come to fruition, yet we are highly focused on that. We've got the Queen of Swords. Excuse me. My allergies have been so bad, which is she can represent a person. She could be representing an air sign. I feel like she's representing us, representing how we manifest our thoughts, our visions. But it's also the air signs are really focused on it's like surgical precision. It's being very, very focused and almost narrow-minded or narrow-sighted. We can only really focus on one thing, and we're not able to see the big picture a lot of the times. That's not always the case with air signs. Air signs quite often can rise above and see a wider perspective, but that's not what I'm feeling from this. I feel like there's so much anxiety and fear in the field that's keeping us really, really stuck, and not able to, again, focus on our goals or focus on the long term or the things that we would like to bring in. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles here, which talks about the seeds that you're planting. It talks about, yes, planning ahead, but it's allowing things to be and allowing things to unfold as they're going to unfold without us, I don't want to say messing it up, because I don't really feel like we can mess it up. But without us trying to control every aspect. We're definitely being invited, not just this month, but going forward. I feel like these are energies and topics that are going to be really amplified this month. So we're really being asked to take a moment, shut out the outside world, and focus on what is it that we want for ourselves, our lives, and looking long term. What is it that you want? And not being so focused on, well, what if it doesn't work out, or what if it doesn't unfold, or what if, letting all of the what ifs, fall aside, and just allowing ourselves to, one, expect good things for ourselves, but also plant seeds for the future, without us trying to control everything. There's an invitation here to relax, to sit back and allow things to unfold, and understand that we don't need to know everything. We don't need to be able to see the path ahead completely clear, and just understanding that whatever unfolds this month or in the future, we will be prepared, and we will have the tools and knowledge that we need to make the best decisions, and trusting, putting trust in yourself, having trust in all that you have learned, trust in your guides, and just trust, having faith. I feel like that's a huge message of this month is having faith a lot of the times. And of course, if we could see everything totally clear and everything was mapped out for us, yeah, we would probably have a lot more confidence to move forward, and we wouldn't be taking any risks. There would be no risk, because we would already know everything that was to unfold and how it's going to unfold. But we're being asked to move forward and take risks, like we already know how things are going to work out, if that makes sense. Uh, the energy of loss is really what is holding a lot of people back. It's causing a lot of, apathy, giving up, and we didn't come here to do that. We didn't come here to give up or be apathetic or, you know, get caught up in addictions or get caught up in cycles and loops that keep us small. So I just wanted to see. So guidance, spirit guidance on any other guidance regarding loss, the energy of loss. And what I'm really seeing right now is, and I feel like this is probably the energy of apathy that I'm seeing, but it's like a gray, like a light gray shroud that is over the collective, that is over so many people right now. And that's probably the energy of apathy that I'm feeling. And it's sort of like, why even bother? What is going to come of this? The world is not ending. We're going to be here. We're, and many other generations after us will be here. So it is important for us to live our lives, to seek out the joy, to have faith, to have a plan for ourselves, to go after our goals, but not only just for ourselves, but it also will help raise the frequency around us. I know I say that a lot, but it's true. And it also serves as an example to those younger than us, and gives them hope as well. It is kind of sad hearing a lot of younger kids, like kids in their 20s, young adults, teenagers, feeling like, what is the point of striving for anything, or what is the point of going to college, or what is the point of doing anything, because everything is falling apart. It's really sad to see that, and there's a lot of that right now. And I feel like, speaking to the mature adults in the room, I feel like it's up to us to shine a light and lead by example, and just show them that you don't just give up and quit because things seem dark or things seem hopeless. You move forward in the best way possible. I do like that gray energy that I'm seeing is a light gray and not like a really heavy gray. It feels like it could easily be lifted. So let me see, any other guidance around loss, and then I'm going to move on to the other cards that I have, because let me just pull a card here. Any other guidance around loss? Yeah, see, we got the Nine of Swords again. Unnecessary worry. Just, stop it. Worrying about things, it's not going to make them happen necessarily, but it's certainly going to drain your energy, and it's not an inspiring state to be in. And something that I'm hearing the guides say right now is they're bringing through messages and inspiring ideas to so many people, but they can't hear it because they're so caught up in their worries and fear. There's so much fear in the collective. And if you're on social media or any kind of internet, TV, media, anything, fear sells. So most things are going to be fear-based. So just keep that in mind. And it's really interesting. Something that I've noticed is super annoying. I feel like the headlines, well, I know. I look at the headlines lately on media, and I've noticed they've done an interesting thing with switching things around to make it sound like something really horrible has already happened, when it hasn't happened, or it's something that happened like 20 years ago and they're talking about it like it just happened. You know, it's such shit. It's total crap, but it sells, and it does keep everyone in that state of fear. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, so what I'm seeing now is just like a field of flowers and bright colors, basically. And because of so many of us getting caught up in that worry and that concern, we're missing a whole nother, we're missing life. I was going to say we're missing a whole other side of life, but Spirit corrected me and said, no, you're missing out on life. You're missing out on real life. Yeah, it's very true. So one of the cards, I'm going to show you the 3 cards that I pulled a few days ago looking at October. And then I'll pull some additional cards and we'll just see what else, comes up. So one of the cards I pulled was duality. Let me cover my face. It says duality dance. Seeking balance amid the chaos, which is interesting, and find harmony within yourself. And that's really important because that is where you find the harmony, and that is where you find clarity. It within you. It's like your core self, that genuine part of you. That is where the truth is. It's never outside of you. And my intention with making these videos, and my intention with doing the weekly card readings and all of that, is to hopefully transmit an energy or a curiosity that will spark you to look at that genuine part of yourself, or to go within, or to ask certain questions that might wake something up inside of you, or give you a different perspective. That's kind of the whole point of doing these readings. So anyway, card right in the middle, and I feel like this is probably one of the most important messages, is embrace courage. It kind of goes along with what I was talking about at the beginning as far as courage and risk. To me, I feel like a leap of faith. It's all kind of the same energy. You don't know what the outcome is going to be, but it's all about having faith in yourself, and if you don't like the word faith, use the word trust. Having trust in yourself, faith in yourself, and also, trust and faith in your mission. We all came here for a reason. We didn't just come here because this is like a super fun place to be, because it's not. It's an incredibly heavy, dense place. As many of you have probably heard, like, this is, what's the saying? This is the devil's playground. The earth is the ego's playground. This is not a place of light energy, but we came here, I believe, a lot of us came here to lighten that density and to experience a different side of ourselves, a different part of our psyche. I believe we came here to do that. And then I also believe, because each one of us has very unique gifts, unique to you, we came here to share that facet of ourselves with each other, because each of our, if we see each other as a facet, like a facet on a diamond or a jewel, if each of us is a facet, we each have a unique light and a unique energy that will help reflect a different aspect onto someone else. So I also feel like that's why we came here. This is the card I'm most interested about. Well, maybe not most, well, kind of. Fast progress. Oh, I didn't finish reading what embrace courage. So the card says, open your mind, learn from experiences, and let answers unfold in your journey. And that's what Spirit was talking about, as far as stepping out of anxiety and just allowing the path to unfold and trusting that you will have everything that you need to make the decisions, to move forward, all of that. Open your mind, learn from your experiences. So again, going back to past versions of yourself when you were dealing with loss. How did you deal with that loss? And how was that beneficial or how was that detrimental? Um, we really can see, from my experience, I can really see growth in myself when I am met with a challenge or something unexpected, and I handle that situation in a different way. I react to it in a different way. I can see my growth in those situations. We don't see our growth in times that are easy and fun and smooth sailing. That's not where we experience growth. I feel like that's where we can integrate a lot of things, but we don't experience growth or have growth in those experiences. It comes from the challenges in our life. So embrace courage. What this card really interests me. Fast progress. And the reason why this card interests me, well, one, I love that the clouds are dispersing and the guys walking into the light. I think that's really interesting. But I have been pulling the Chariot card for myself and so many other people. And the Chariot card talks about moving forward, towards success, towards successful outcomes in a really fast way. So I feel like, well, and the card says move forward with swift precision and do what must be done now. Not waiting, doing what must be done now and not waiting for the perfect conditions to live your dreams or to make the changes that you want to make. Do it now. Live life now. That's what we're meant to do. And that really interests me because it's been coming up for so many people in readings. It's the Chariot card has been coming up for me constantly, but it's a positive card. It's positive momentum, and I find that interesting too, just looking at myself and feeling into my life. I feel like I have had no momentum. I feel like at times I'm just spinning my wheels. I've been putting in the work, but not seeing the results. So if you have been feeling that similar way, it does feel like a shift is coming in for us. So I'm really excited to see that card. And I'm also interested to hear from you guys, how have you been feeling? I mean, we're getting ready to kind of wrap up this year. What has this year been like for you guys? Is some of what I'm saying resonating with you? Have you been feeling like you're spinning your wheels and going nowhere? I am really interested to hear, your perspective on things. So looking at duality, let's just go ahead and pull a card on duality. What else do we need to know about duality in October 2025? What else do we need to know about duality? Finding that balance. I'm hearing finding that grace. All right, what do we have? 8 of Swords. Gosh, so many swords. So I'm just filling into this. Yeah, and I just keep hearing release the fear. We've got the 8 of Swords here, which is feeling trapped or feeling blocked or feeling paralyzed in fear is another way of putting it. But but this fear, and I'm not saying there isn't horrible things happening in the world, because there always have been, there always will be. I'm not, being ignorant to that. But what this feels like is being paralyzed in fear that isn't happening. It's not happening to you. It's not, you know, um, it's being locked in a mindset that is fearful, and rightfully so. I mean, there's, like I said, there's a lot of horrible things that happen every day. Um, but it's getting out of that. It's being paralyzed in fear. So how how can you, and this is going to be different for each person, but take a moment to kind of consider this, not kind of consider this, take a moment to consider this. How can you acknowledge all of the pain and suffering going on in the world, but still move forward with your life, still be present in your life, still look for the joy, happiness, and peace in your life? What can you do to welcome in more light into your life and into your everyday? I feel like that's a really important message. Let's see what else we get with that. It almost feels like for a lot of us here, that is part of the work, part of what we came here to do, is to create something beautiful out of something really ugly. What else do we need to know about duality? Oh, that one just is coming right out. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. We've got the Ace of Wands. This is divine inspiration. This is what Spirit was talking about at the beginning. They're trying to source. When I say when I'm talking about source, I'm talking about your spirit guides. They are trying to inspire us with all sorts of things. It could be business ideas, art ideas, lots of inspiration, but we can't hear it, see it, sense it, or feel it because we're too caught up in the shadow of loss and fear of loss, or fear of failure, or fear of not being successful. So why even bother? But the Ace of Wands, this is divine inspiration. That's how you get out of the energy of feeling trapped or feeling paralyzed by fear. It's first physical activity, of course, but doing something that is that you're passionate about, that lightens you up, that brings you a lot of joy, but will also benefit and bless those around you. And I think that is something that's when you look at like creative arts, it might seem to some like a waste of time, to create art or to write a book or whatever, but those things uplift and bring joy to the planet. And like I was saying before, if we're each a facet of a diamond, a a humongous, beautiful diamond, each facet has a unique beauty to it. It has a unique story to tell, and we're here to do that. So how are you being inspired to share your story, to share your energy? I mean, whatever that is, it's going to be different for each of us. And it's okay to acknowledge the pain in the world, but also the beauty too. Just like shitty things happen every day, wonderful things happen every day. So let's look at embrace courage. Opening up your mind, learning from your experiences, and let answers unfold in your journey. In your journey. When I hear journey, you're actually moving. You're moving forward. You're doing something. So you're taking action. It isn't just a freeze response and you're just, not doing, or, we're not curled up in the corner crying. Okay. Maybe sometimes, but we're moving forward. A journey's taking you somewhere, right? All right, what else? What do we need to know about courage? Having courage in the month of October. Let's see what we got here. Nine of Cups. I have a love-hate relationship with this card, with the Nine of Cups. I do feel like this is really tapping into, again, that divine inspiration, but it's allowing yourself to, I'm trying to think of a better word, but consumed is what I'm coming up with here. Although that's not necessarily the word I want to use. But anyway, allowing yourself to be consumed by it all, allowing yourself to really take in all of the darkness, all of the horrible things going on, allowing yourself to take that in, but also, and then releasing it and allowing yourself to also take in all the beauty and all of the wonderful things, allowing yourself to really feel and experience and embody all of the joys and all of the things that are going well for you, and not minimizing those. I feel like a lot of the times we do minimize, you know, the good things that happen to us, the challenges that we overcome, you know, the good news that we get. And why is that? Why is it that we can hang on to those horrible experiences and like they just happened? Yet the good things, you know, it's like, and we brush them aside. This is allowing yourself to really enjoy the beauty of your experiences, the pluses, the goodness of your experience, the same as we do the negative. And if you are someone that is able to really embrace the goodness and allowing yourself to, you know, really embody those wonderful experiences, then good for you, because that takes a lot of work. I can say there was definitely a time in my life where I was more of a half cup, half empty person. But I'm definitely now, that has shifted, and it has taken a lot of work to shift my mindset in a way that I don't expect the worst all the time. I feel like, at least in my experience and in the experience of a lot of others that I know, and that I've worked with, I believe we're conditioned at a very young age to expect life to be shit, and, you know, don't get your hopes up because they're just going to be dashed. Or if you don't look forward to anything, you'll never be disappointed. These types of things, it's conditioning that, going back to this card, it's conditioning that we can overcome, and allowing ourselves to shift our perspective. It's a choice to see things the way we see them. And keeping in mind, again, that the media is incredibly manipulating. It's not reality. What else do we need to know about, you know, and again, the Nine of Cups too, it's also complete bliss, complete satisfaction, complete joy, complete harmony. That is here too. And that does go back to the whole duality of everything. There is really horrible things and there's really beautiful things. There's both. It isn't just one or the other. And we do experience both, but I feel like we minimize the good things that happen to us. I feel like it's really easy to not appreciate those moments as much as we should. All right, what else do we need to know regarding courage? And then we're going to move on to fast progress. All right, what else do we need to know about courage? Six of Cups. I love this. Card of nostalgia, card of remembrance. Cups always connect in with our emotional and spiritual well-being. But what I'm feeling from this card is it's the connections. It's the transactions with other people. It's the heart connection. It is the conversation. It is the connection with others that is the real gift and part of what we're also really missing. We're really missing out on. So having the courage to connect with others in real life. I mean, online is fine to an extent, but this is having the courage to expect the best in others, expect the best in life, and connect with other people. Don't be afraid to have relationships with people. Don't be afraid to connect with other people. Don't be afraid to, put yourself out there. Having that courage, and also having the courage to, again, follow through on your dreams, your goals. What is it that what's been on your heart? What is it that you would love to do or experience, but for whatever reason, you're not allowing yourself to experience it or have it or go after it? Um, take a look at that this month and see what is also coming up this month. All right, fast progress. This is the card I've been most excited to look at. And I'm also wondering, with this fast progress, I just keep seeing the Chariot card in my mind, if part of the loss, the shadow of loss coming up this month is because things are shifting and changing in such a way that when big changes come in, it can bring a lot of instability, and it can bring a sense of loss too, because sometimes things shift in such a way that you hardly recognize your life because things have changed so much. And but what I'm feeling with this is it's a positive change, but even positive change, can we cling on to what we know? We hold on to the past. We hold on, even if it's shit, we hold on to what we know and what we know to expect. I feel like this fast change that's coming in, this fast progress, although it's mostly going to be for the better for everybody, it is we may not feel comfortable with it. It's going to push us out of our comfort zone. So let's pull a couple of cards here and see what we get with fast progress. What do we need to know? Ooh, then I'll probably leave it here. Let me pull one other one. All right. So the Three of Pentacles. I got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. I kind of chuckled here. This is the card of teamwork. I hate teamwork. I just really hate it sometimes. But this is going back to having the courage to step out of your comfort zone, to work with other people, and work with people that might not be you wouldn't choose them. If you were picking a team, these aren't going to be the people that you would pick. Stepping out of your comfort zone and allowing yourself to be inspired by people that maybe aren't in your group. I feel like a lot of this change is bringing in people and situations that we wouldn't choose for ourselves, but the universe is choosing for us because it's going to bring about the biggest, it's going to bring about growth and expansion in a way that only the universe can do. I mean, I can definitely feel some resistance in myself to what I'm feeling as far as these changes coming in, but be open minded. I feel like this month, keep be open minded. If one thing sticks with you this month from this video is be open minded. Do your best not to make judgments. Do your best to just be open minded. Who knows what gifts will come from what? You just don't know. The other card I pulled is the Ace of Swords. We've had a lot of swords come up, which in some ways makes sense because we're in the month of October, which is Libra season. Libra is an air sign. Air signs and Libra talks about finding balance, finding harmony within the group, finding ways of working together rather than working against one another. And it's finding the harmony within a group that may not normally be harmonious. But this Ace of Swords here, again, this is divine inspiration, divine opportunity, communication. It's like communication within a group. It's communication with it's a voice within groups. That's just what I keep hearing. It's a voice within groups. It's coming together through communication, coming together through thoughts and ideas, and being open. The Ace of Swords is also it's open-minded, it's mental clarity, it's new ideas. But I feel like this is new ideas coming in from other groups of people, from our connections, from it can even be just, I don't want to say meaningless conversations, but it feels like that. It feels like the inspiration and that we can receive today, that we can receive this month, is coming from unexpected places, unexpected people. But you do have to get out there to meet these people. So be open-minded. Put yourself in situations that you wouldn't normally put yourself in. I'm not saying like nothing destructive or, don't be dumb. Don't put yourself in an unhealthy situation. But maybe there's something that you've been wanting to try or do, but you don't have anybody to go and do it with. Or I don't know, you worry about, will I fit in or will people like me? Whatever, just go do the thing. A lot here with connections, meeting people, but there's a lot of new energy coming in. I also feel for some people this month, this fast progress, it's going to be new jobs, new work, new employment, that maybe it's a job that you've never done before. It's something new in that sense, but it also puts you in contact with people that are new to you, new environments, new living situations. Yeah, so foreign. This could also be foreign. I'm just hearing foreign travel or moving abroad. And in those situations, yeah, it, could be culture shock that brings in this new inspiration, but definitely need to have an open mind. So seek the balance amongst the chaos, find the beauty amongst the chaos, have the courage to step out of your comfort zone. Fast progress is coming in. It feels like the universe is going to be rearranging things for us, whether we like it or not. but it's for our benefit. And then again, looking back over, just reflecting upon times of great loss, and how did you deal with that, um, and where are you now in comparison to then? What did that great loss, how did that propel you forward? You know, oftentimes it's the unexpected things that bring us the greatest gifts. It's the times when things were the shittiest or the darkest that bring us, obviously, it's going to bring us the biggest amount of growth. But looking back, you can really see the beauty and the gifts in those moments, which, of course, when you're in it, it's hard to see. So let's pull just a final card. This is, I've not used this deck. It's the Sisterhood of the Seers Oracle. Let's just pull a card from here. I love the images on these cards. I think they're really pretty, and they look like watercolors. Maybe some of you will be inspired to try watercolor painting. And I know, oh Lord, so October, I think it's October 6th or October 7th, we have a full moon in Aries, which that could be a doozy. That'll be interesting. Maybe I'll do another video as we get closer to that full moon. All right, so final card. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate your support. All right, final card for October 2025. For all of those that are watching, that card wanted to come out. Oh, I love it. Definitely goes along with what we were saying. Card number 7. The Seer of Shine. Creativity, see and be seen, and worthy. I love the red in this card, connecting us with our root chakra, connecting us with our passions, what lights you up, connecting us to our life force, you know, to all of the things that propel us forward, that drive us forward. And I mean, that's what we came here to do. So I love that. The Seer of Shine, creativity, see and be seen, worthy. We are worthy. We came here to be seen. Stop hiding. Get out and connect this month. Anything else? I'm just hearing, trust yourself. And not, you know, don't go along with the group. It feels like for a lot of us, it's time to break away from the ways that we keep ourselves safe. Yeah, don't play small. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave it there, and wishing you a wonderful October. I'm going to start doing the videos for the monthly readings for all of the signs. Take great care of yourself, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye for now.